to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A well-known Floyd County teacher and historian died last night. WYMT's Lauren McCourt met with his students and colleagues who say the impact he left behind will never fade.
When only 45 kids are in the school, students and teachers are more like family.
We kind of became his second family in a sense.
And every student at the Davis School considered Floyd Davis a father figure.
And every morning he would get me pour his coffee and put him some waffles in the toaster.
From joking around in the classroom.
Wasn't a day that went by that he didn't make me laugh. It was really funny.
Once he starts laughing, everybody's laughing.
To helping others in the community.
Was a staple in the community, not only at the school.
Floyd Davis let nothing stop him from serving others.
You always saw Floyd outside with his kids, even though he was confined to a wheelchair.
Though he struggled with health problems, he never let that bring his spirit down.
He was the top to look at the glass half full instead of half empty.
And made sure to let his students know that he cared.
He loved these kids. And they're really going to miss him a lot.
Though Davis will no longer be in the classroom.
Really took it for granted the time that we had with him.
The impact he left on each of his students will carry on in Floyd County. Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
Visitation for Davis will be held tomorrow. Funeral services will be the following day at 4 at the Carter Funeral Home. An Eastern Kentucky nurse is accused of diluting a pain reliever with saline. Kelsey Spencer now faces federal charges. Here she is. Prosecutors also say she lied to an investigator with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. If convicted, she faces up to 10 years in prison and tens of thousands of dollars in fines. It is unclear who she was working for, but the alleged crime happened in Johnson County. Kentucky State Police say a Letcher County man uploaded images of child pornography online. They arrested Chad Krause yesterday. Investigators say it all started with an undercover investigation into internet crimes against children. Troopers served a search warrant at his home and took electronics. He faces 20 Class D felonies and, if convicted, faces 1 to 5 years in prison on each count. Vice President Mike Pence visits the Bluegrass this evening. He'll be at Hallway Feeds on West Loudon Avenue in Lexington. They sell food for horses. The VP's team says he'll be talking about the United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. Governor Bevin is also expected to attend. House Democrats plan to meet with Governor Bevin's team on Monday to go over his pension relief plan for quasi-governmental agencies. The governor's team met with Republican lawmakers earlier this week. It will be brought up in a special session, but Governor Bevin has yet to announce when that will be. Today, the governor's office announced 7 Kentucky universities and other agencies said they supported the new plan.
We're seeing a few storms popping up across the area, mostly down into the south and to the east. You'll notice that Whitesburg Cam looking a little bit soggy and stormy over there as showers and storms are making their way into the mountains, and a soggy look at Stonecrest over into Prestonsburg as showers are impacting them as well. And as you look at Pinpoint Doppler, you'll notice those showers mainly to our east, and they're continuing to push through the east. And as we go ahead and put that in loop, you'll notice really over the past hour or so, you've seen them kind of starting to move pretty quickly and becoming a little bit more disorganized as well. We're seeing showers starting to move into Pike County, parts of Pikeville as well. We're seeing that the heaviest of showers starting to move out of Prestonsburg. We continue to see that move, and that'll trek into Pike County and parts of Martin County as well. Going down south, we're seeing southern Perry County, Daisy community. You're seeing some heavy showers there. That's going to start to move into parts of Letcher County. Some showers moving into northern Harlan County and even over there into Knott County as well. Temperatures, they're not too bad out there. Those lower 70s, a little bit cooler in Prestonsburg where they've seen a little bit of that heavier rain move through. And with that cloud cover, it's really going to keep us warm throughout the night and into tomorrow as well. Have that full forecast coming up for you guys in just a few short minutes. Steve.
Thank you, Paige. As spring comes back again in Appalachia, rangers say bears start to come out too. They say while bears are still waiting on some of their food to ripen, they are having to look for it elsewhere. WIMT's Hannah Reynolds has more.
Alan Meadows of Middlesboro says a woman on the outskirts of town walked outside of her home to a surprise.
Basically gone out in the yard to deposit some stuff in a trash can, and she turned around and there was a black bear in her garden.
Which is something rangers say is common this time of year, as mother bears search for mating partners begin.
What happens if those cubs do not leave? The mother literally kicks them out of home,
leaving them to fend for themselves. And as the Appalachia continues to urbanize, nearby homes can be an easy source for those cubs.
That means if people are putting their trash out the night before pickup, if people have bird feeders out, if people are putting out dog food, and tremendous amounts of it, bear are going to get it.
Rangers say overall, the best way to know what to do while living close to bears is to become educated about the animals.
And that's why here at Cumberland Gap, we have a wonderful program called Back the Bears, Be Educated and Responsible Stewards. And we can be those stewards, and we can live harmoniously together.
Borneman says if a bear has unfortunately been habitualized to food and does approach you at home or while at the park, to make as much noise as possible to let it know it is not welcome. In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
You gotta love Ranger Carroll's enthusiasm. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife staff say for more information on how you can avoid coming into contact with bears, you can go to bearwise.org. The Martin County Sheriff's Department needs your help finding a missing man. Glenn Morris Booth was last seen in South Williamson at Big Lots. The 80-year-old man is about 5'11" and weighs about 180 pounds. He was last seen in a burgundy 2008 Ford Taurus with the Kentucky tag 6891DC. The sheriff's office says Booth is in the early stages of dementia. A man who pleaded guilty to driving high, crashing, and killing 4 people and an unborn child will learn his punishment Monday. The crash happened in 2015, just a few days before Christmas. Jason Gibson pleaded guilty last month. This is video of that hearing. Charlene Lewis, Judy Pennington Adams, Tiffany Williams, Williams's 23-month-old son Kyson, and her unborn child all died in that crash. Since 1966, one business in Hazard has been literally capturing the beauty and history of the region. But the owner has decided it's time to retire, and the business will close later this month. WYMT's Connor James has more on the legacy of Gordon's photo.
The old saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But the images here at Gordon's Photo Center, they do more. They tell a story.
Yeah.
But like all great stories,
oh, I'm going to miss it terribly bad. I'm going to be lost.
There has to be an end. At 72 years old, Paul Gordon is ready.
And I'm going to miss all this, but it was time to retire and slow down a little bit.
Paul hasn't just captured iconic Derby Day photos or photographed generations of presidents.
I think I've photographed 5 presidents. The FBI told me with Clinton, I shouldn't say shot. Photograph.
He's bumped shoulders with fame.
All kinds of stars, Dolly Parton.
All while staying humble.
I've always really enjoyed doing photography.
About his real passion.
And I love people coming here with pictures that look horrible, old pictures, and I work with them and make them good again, and I bring back memories. And the best thing I can get is somebody look at a picture and they start crying because it's so good.
In the digital age, what Paul is most devoted to, film, is becoming obsolete.
Technology has took over. I tell people, you know, I'm a pilot and do aerial photography in the helicopter, and I've been replaced with a drone and a phone.
Lately, he's just been waiting for someone to buy the building.
I just couldn't stand to see something that I worked so hard for to deteriorate.
And now he's finally got it sold.
The building won't be falling down.
After decades of the only vacation being a 3-day weekend.
And I enjoy my customers, but, you know, I've not really had a vacation in 30 years.
Paul, his wife Teresa, and their dog Abby are going to spend some much-needed time seeing the States.
My wife's never been to the Florida Keys. I want to take her down there, and I want to go to Niagara Falls.
Although this may be the end of an era,
I've always tried to take care of people and help them with their problems and do the best work I can.
This legacy, more than half a century in the making,
try to make everybody happy and do a good job for them,
will certainly be an unforgettable story. In Hazard, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
And here's a little fun fact for you. Gordon was the photographer for my parents' wedding 50 years ago next month. The shop will officially close its doors on May 24th. Gordon says he still plans on living right here in Hazard. What used to be a car dealership will soon be a medical facility. Pikeville Medical Center announced yesterday that they have recently purchased the former Music Carter Hughes car dealership from the city of Prestonsburg. PMC intends to build a medical outpatient facility for Floyd County. Prestonsburg officials say they are more than excited to bring this new business to town.
Well, business is business, and healthcare is an industry, and we're really excited about having them come in here. That's going to increase, they're going to have jobs, which pays taxes, but it's going to bring people into town, and it's going to get people excited about coming into town for different reasons, I hope.
Now, there is currently no date set for when the facility will open. We are just minutes away now from post for the 145th Kentucky Oaks. It is the Phillies running for the Lilies. Victor Puente shows us the party going on in the infield.
When we got here this morning, there was just a trickle of people into Churchill Downs. But as the rain stopped and the sun came out, so did the masses. That included a family of 8 who flew in from Miami to take in all that Churchill has to offer.
Oh, it's fun. We were having some bourbon last night, and we're loving the fashion and really enjoying it.
Well, there were a lot of beautiful clothes on display. Over in the infield, at least one fashion choice wasn't the choice of the person wearing it.
My birthday was yesterday, and I've been joking all week about wearing a male romper, and they found one, so I had to wear it.
The infield is also a place to make friends, sometimes just for a day, sometimes for years.
We befriended the gentleman in pink over there. That's Dale. And Dale befriended us. We became friends. We skipped a year. We didn't come back the next year. 3rd year, Dale remembered us. So we've been friends ever since. Now we're staying with Dale.
Some of these visitors tell me Oaks will be the extent of their Churchill experience.
So I'll limit myself to 1 time a week during Derby week. My bank account tells me that's it.
But others are making an entire weekend out of it.
We're going to be here for the Derby. We've got our outfits all planned out, and we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we get a little sun tomorrow.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to be so good tomorrow, but
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow could be pretty muddy out there in the infield. That ground is already wet. The good news is out there you can take tarps and chairs. It sounds like they'll need it. In Louisville, Victor Puente, WYMT Mountain News.
And yes, you will need all the tarps and all the rain gear. Rain really starting about 11 o'clock tomorrow, continuing up until the race starts. And those temperatures a little bit chilly with that rain as well. I'll have that full forecast though coming up for you guys in just a few short minutes.
Plus, ever wondered how horse racing really got its start? Phil Pendleton takes us to a place where racing as we know it may have started.